I've been using the iPhone 17 Pro for the last 3 days, and this is my first review of this device. These are my first few thoughts, my first few critics, and my first few mentions of how it is to actually buy and use the iPhone 17 Pro. So if you are excited, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, let's get into my 48-hour review. Let's get started. So, I bought the iPhone 17 Pro last Friday, and now it's Tuesday, the same day that this video is launching. So, I know pretty well this phone by now. It's about 4 days of use since Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I think it's a pretty good device right out of the gate. This is a very well balanced device. The size, the weight, the new build-up, and the new design, I think are very appealing for most people. As you can see, I bought the orange device and I already have a clear case and a screen protector. So I'm completely protected against any scratches. And right off the gate, lots of people are complaining about the new camera bump design being too scratchy and getting damaged really easily, especially on the anodized corners of the camera bump. This is a real issue. Guys, I'm studying engineering and I can corroborate this happens. The thing is, you need to protect it. So there's no way around it. There's no way to surpass it. You need to buy a case to protect the camera bump. Is it a shame? Yes. Is it a huge problem? It isn't. If you want to get this design with these colors and with this amount of sharpness and actually detail and perfection, you need to compromise on other things. And I think Apple chose, at least the designers chose, to compromise on those things. I think probably some engineers at Apple are not happy, but again, this is a big issue that lots of people are talking about, Scratchgate, but I think it's real, but I have not have it on my device because again, I have a clear case that protects it. Cheap, 10 euros, and you can solve your issue. Buy a $10 case and don't have any issues. A clear, thin case will solve all of your problems. If you don't want to use that, if you want to use a normal iPhone with no case, then be aware that with overtime, keys, coins, pocket trash, some things will scratch up your camera bump, and remove the paint from the anodized camera corners from your camera bump. Big issue? No. Is it real? Yes. Be careful whenever you buy an iPhone 17 Pro or Pro Max. Use a case, please. And now that I've talked about the elephant in the room, let's now cover the most three important things on a device: camera, battery, and display. And those are the most important parts whenever you buy a device. Is the battery life good? Is the display good enough? Are the cameras revolutionizing? Well, in this case, on this device, I think that we have seen big improvements on the three, especially starting off with the battery. I've been using this device for the last 4 days, and you know how many times did I charge it? Twice. And this is the Pro model. So this is the cheapest and the smallest iPhone 17 Pro you can buy. So it only has a 6.3-inch display, but more importantly, has a smaller body, so the smaller battery. I think this has a 4200 mAh battery life, while the 17 Pro Max has a 5000 mAh battery, which means that this device has a smaller battery, but with a much smaller footprint. So you are compromising on battery, yes, but you are not compromising on the overall size. So whenever you choose a bigger device, you will have bigger batteries, but you have bigger bodies, so a more voluminous and less portable device. In my opinion, it's worth to sacrifice the 800 mAh that you are doing to get a smaller device. This phone lasted me 2 days. Again, it's now the 4th day, and I charged it completely from 0 to 100 yesterday, and I got 79%. It's currently almost midday, and I've been awake since 8:30 and using this phone since then. So again, taking some photos, 20%. I think it's a normal use case. Again, if I pick up this device and go for the settings and check out how much screen time do I have, then you will understand that, again, this is not a device that will last you 10 hours of screen on time, but currently I have 1 hour and 10 minutes of screen on time, and the device has lost about 20% of charge. So yeah, I think it's not that bad. I think it will last me around 5 hours, 6 hours. Again, this is a Pro model, so it will be a good battery day. I think that it will last me the whole day easily and maybe get me 20-30% for tomorrow. This is not a 2-day phone, and that's something that I realized since the beginning with the Pro models, that they are not 2-day phones. For that, you need to buy the iPhone 17 Pro Max, but still, this is a very durable device in terms of battery life, and I think it will be plenty good for the year that is about to come. The only thing that you need to be worried about is that whenever you buy these Pro models, especially these smaller iPhones, is that through time and through the way that they actually age, the batteries will degrade around 10% per year on these new iPhones. The older iPhones will be 20% bigger, but now on these newer iPhones, about 5 to 10%, depending on your charging habits. This means that this device, in about 5 years, will have lost about 40%, 30% of degradation on the battery, which means it will be trash in terms of battery life. So it won't last you that long. You need to be careful with that. Pro models, they will degrade really fast. At least it's the same rate of degradation as the Pro Max models, but because the battery is smaller, you will notice more in terms of the battery hit. Again, the battery life currently over the last 4 days was good, but I need to say that this phone is still configuring, still downloading stuff from iCloud, so it's still spending more than it should. In about 2 weeks, on the full review, I will be able to give you my best opinion and my best, say, use case battery that I can give. So in 2 weeks, full review, I will give you the official number, but right now I can tell you it's a 1-day phone for sure, easily. Don't worry about battery life, and if you are worried, don't be. You can buy the Pro model if that's something that worked you before. But now, let's get on to displays. Did I notice a big difference between this iPhone, the iPhone 17 Pro display, and my older iPhone, the iPhone 16 Pro Max? Well, no. This has a 3000 nit peak brightness display, while the iPhone 16 Pro Max has only a 2000 nit peak brightness display. But this is only actually noticeable whenever you are in the sun outside. The last 4 days, I was not. Or at least I did not take any photos outside during midday right now and did not see any difference at least. But normal use cases, the displays are pretty much the same. You won't notice the difference. Both displays are 120 Hz ProMotion technology. Both displays have OLED technologies. Both displays have incredible color, incredible contrast ratio. The only thing that I noticed was the smaller display, and that's something that comes with downgrading the size of your iPhone. Before, using the Pro Max model, you had a much bigger display. Now, with the iPhone 17 Pro, you have a much smaller display. But that's something that comes with your use case. I much prefer a smaller iPhone now, not because I don't like the bigger display from the Pro Max. No, not because I prefer the smaller display on the iPhone 17 Pro. I don't, but I do prefer the smaller footprint, which means this device is more comfortable and easier to use with one hand. What I mean by this is that whenever you pick both devices and you try to use both, let me just unlock this device, and this device, Face ID, this means that whenever you use both devices, and I put the full brightness on this display, you will notice that it's much easier to use your iPhone 17 Pro than your iPhone 16 Pro Max or the Pro Max model, because you won't be able to reach the corners as easily with one hand. Currently, I can do it with the iPhone 17 Pro pretty easily, but the Pro Max model makes this really difficult and makes this a very big exercise for your hands. So, normal use cases, the iPhone 17 Pro will be much easier to use with one hand, which is probably most of the time. Then, whenever you buy a Pro Max, you are conditioned to have a big display, yes, but conditioned to have a big iPhone and very big body, and use a device, especially to write messages with only one hand, almost impossible. Again, if you try to write with one hand on the Pro Max, you are stretching your hand very much, like trying to do this, it's not comfortable, while with the Pro, much easier, like you do this, you can write really easily with your fingers with only one hand. Again, that was probably the main reason that I bought the Pro, not the Pro Max. I thought that the battery life was good enough, and because this year the cameras are the same, there's no difference between the iPhone 17 Pro Max and the iPhone 17 Pro in terms of cameras, I thought, let me try out the iPhone 17 Pro. The smaller iPhone. I haven't done it in a while, and I think I will get used to the smaller size, which I loved with the iPhone 12 Pro. That was my last iPhone, which was the Pro model. Now I've tried out the iPhone Air, which I thought was incredible. The smaller body, and coupled with that, the thinner body, compared to the 16 Pro Max, was a huge relief for me. So I think I prefer smaller iPhones, or in thinner iPhones too. One thing is for sure, these iPhones are not thinner. The iPhone 17 Pro is even thicker than the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is a shame. But I understand why. Apple divided the lineup in two. They divided the lineup between the Pro models, which are the performance iPhones. They replaced titanium with aluminium. And they gave these iPhones a thicker body to accommodate bigger batteries. Now, these are focused only on performance, not being the most premium, while the iPhone Air, which is the thinnest and actually the most premium iPhone right now, replaces this side of premium with the 16 Pro Max. Again, they divided the lineup, the Pro lineup in two, not the smaller iPhone, which was a quite interesting thing for Apple to do, but I think they will work out it pretty well. The iPhone 8 is a very attractive iPhone. It's game-changing in my opinion, and I think it will be around for a long time. But the iPhone 17 Pro display, again, smaller being, I think it was the biggest thing that I noticed. Not the brightness, not the smaller bezels. I don't think it has smaller bezels, even I can notice that. Not the brightness, especially the brightness. Now I noticed that it was smaller and more comfortable to use. As for the cameras, well, this is an interesting thing because I've taken some photos these past 4 days and I thought, well, I'm surprised, especially with the telephoto. The telephoto lens, the 40 megapixel telephoto lens is awesome. I was not thinking that I was enjoying that much the telephoto this year because I was like, okay, it's the 40 megapixel telephoto, but I have not seen that big of an upgrade whenever I bought the 16 Pro Max and I got the 40 megapixel ultra wide. I thought, okay, it's an ultra wide lens, it's a bit sharper, but this will happen the same with the telephoto. Oh boy, I was so wrong. There's nothing like it. Again, 16 Pro Max, put it to the side. It's not comparable. The telephoto on the iPhone 17 Pro has two focal ranges now, which is the 4x and the 8x, equivalent to 100 and 200 millimeters. This means that you now have two focal ranges for your portrait photos. This is incredible, and I love to take portrait photos. Love to take it. And they are awesome now with the iPhone 17 Pro. They're also sharper, and because the sensor is 40% bigger, this means that we now can have much more bokeh, natural bokeh. Now, the portrait photography on this iPhone is beautiful, and rivals mirrorless lenses. Insane, guys. Incredible upgrade for the telephoto. If that's something that you really value, the telephoto, then upgrade for the iPhone 17 Pro or Pro Max. Totally worth it. Then we come to the main sensor, and at the first thought and the first glance, you think it's the same, and it probably is. Probably some small upgrade. But with the new chip, the A19 Pro chip, I really noticed some differences, especially in color. Now, I think that the camera looks more realistic, closer to a mirrorless camera again. I think that the color science is a bit different with the iPhone 17 Pro. And if you have one, let me know in the comments below what you think, because I've noticed that. I think that the photos have a bit more contrast and they look a bit more natural than before. I think it looked more realistic, closer again to a mirrorless camera. This is... You can notice a pattern here because the cameras are getting better. Whenever they get better, they get closer to mirrorless cameras. And I think they are really close. Again, you can now record ProRes RAW video here. Have not done it because I don't need it. But you have more cinematic features here. You can connect with other cameras, sync the time codes. It's not a full frame camera. This is currently a full frame camera with 3 lenses and with a screen, and call it an iPhone. But currently it has so much potential to be a video camera and even a photo camera. I love this camera system. 3 cameras. The only thing that I wished is that I could have a bit more natural bokeh on the main camera. So a bit more natural bokeh, a bit bigger sensors, so it could give me cool shots at around 26, 30 millimeters with incredible bokeh. 35 millimeters, you can do it on this camera. Just go into the camera and press here on the 1x, go for 35. But the thing is, it does not have that much bokeh. You can also go for 2x, 4x, and the special lens, the 8x telephoto. It's awesome. Oh, this new layout on the camera app, much better with iOS 26, much more intuitive and easier to use. Other than that, the newest and shiniest center stage camera, which is the front camera, is also a big upgrade, something that I noticed a lot. You open up the camera and here, put it on the center stage camera and you will notice a big difference. Why? Because now you have so many new features. Turn on auto zoom, turn on auto rotate, and this means that if there's something that appears here on my side, the camera will zoom out and push it in. For example, if I put it right there, the camera won't do anything. And put it close, the camera won't do anything. But if I do it like this, the camera will auto rotate to give me a full frame picture. If I do it like this, it will zoom in again. I can zoom out, zoom in, I can auto rotate, for example like this, into the full 4x3 sensor, or I can put it on vertical again with a selfie. If I put it on the side, it will take a horizontal selfie, like this, it will take a vertical selfie. Really cool. Again, this also has more resolution. It's a 24 megapixel shot now, so whenever you take it, it will have much more resolution, just like this. And yeah, I think this is a pretty cool thing with the new center stage camera. Apple revolutionized the front facial camera now. Apple revolutionized the telephoto. And now, with this new camera system on the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, if that's something that you really value, the camera system, I think it's worth the upgrade over the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. Other than that, the upgrade is really small. You are compromising on the build of the device if you buy the 17 Pro. This has titanium and glass. This has a full frame aluminum body. Again, this is more premium. It's heavier. And this one is thicker but lighter. This screen is 3000 nits, this one is 2000 nits, and more upgrades. Oh, I think that another cool upgrade is the new design on the camera bump. Looks awesome, looks different, looks like the newest iPhone, and the new colors are also pretty awesome. With 16 Pro Max you have the black, you have I think the blue, you have this gold, and if you buy the iPhone 17 Pro, there's only the cosmic orange available, the silver and the deep blue. All three are cool, very, very cool. I've seen them in person, but there's no black. So if you like black, you shouldn't buy, or at least choose another color, because there's none available on the iPhone 17 Pro or Pro Max. But these are all the upgrades from the 17 Pro to the Pro Max. On the three big pillars of the device, the cameras, the battery, and the display, you have seen upgrades. And that's something that we not see every single year. Some years we get cameras, some years we get battery, some years we get upgrade. And now, on this year, we got battery, we got cameras, we got displays, and we got the design, which is very, very uncommon and special. And so, I think that the iPhone 17 Pro was actually quite a big upgrade and an introduction of the real Pro iPhone. But let me know in the comments below what you think. This was just my first review. I will have a full camera review, a full iPhone 17 Pro review with a full battery, full display, and all the things, the speakers, coming up in about 1 week and so. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see in that video. Tested more. This was just my first 48 hours review. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.